You know, ever since that guy has came into the league in 2016, he's been my favorite player. I haven't just been on the Wentz wagon, I've been driving it. 2016, he came in, won his first 3 games. We finished 7-9, I know, but you could just see something. You could just see it. Dak Prescott had a better rookie year, but you could just, I knew Carson Wentz was the better player. You could just see it. There was just, he had the it. There was just something there. Then 2017 happened, and he went off the charts. Think about this. He missed the last 3 games due to injury. The last 3 games. And only one player had more touchdown passes than him, and that was only by 1 touchdown. And that was Russell Wilson. Yet he missed 3 games. You think he could have got more than 1 touchdown in 3 games? I think so. He was the best player in the league. Missing 3 games, he still had more touchdown passes than the guy who won the MVP in Tom Brady. I don't care what the voters said. That guy was the 2017 MVP of the league. He was. But he got hurt, and Nick Foles came in and honestly looked like shit the last 3 games. Looked like shit. And then we went in the playoffs, and he looked like shit against the Falcons. And thanks to our defense, we won that game. But he had 2 really good games. The NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl, he played amazing. And my reaction to it was, well, look, new quarterback, he was struggling, we changed some things up, changed our offense around with the RPOs and everything. Defense didn't have a lot of tape on what we were doing, and we caught some teams by surprise, and our offense took off and got hot. This guy did it over an entire season. Nick Foles did it for 2 games. So that was my thing. That was my thing. Like, okay, thank you, Nick Foles. I'll always be in debt to you. Let's go back to this guy, this MVP caliber player. Let's go back to the truth. Well, he wasn't quite ready for the 2018 season. Nick Foles played the first 2 games, looked like shit. So I was starting to feel like, okay, well, I mean, I didn't want to look like shit. I want the Eagles to do well, right? But I started looking at it like, well, you know, I was right. I mean, he got hot for 2 games. This is the Nick Foles that we expected, that I expected. Carson Wentz came in, played better than Nick Foles, actually. But he was no longer playing great. He was playing well. There's a difference between great and well. The Eagles' defense sucked, if you guys recall. We were getting injured left and right. What else is new? And before we knew, we were 5-6. Carson Wentz hurt again. Nick Foles comes in, and I'll be honest, Nick Foles played well. Beat the Texans, who were good at the time. Beat the Rams, who ended up going to the Super Bowl. Then beat the Redskins. Doing well. Went in, beat the Bears, even though he didn't look great in that game. And then probably should have and could have beat the Saints. And he was in that game. My thinking was, well, Carson, it takes time coming back from an injury. It takes time. It takes about a full year before you're right. Blah, blah, blah. Who knew how long the back thing's been hurting him? Maybe that's the reason why he's been. But if you looked at his numbers, they weren't bad by any stretch. They weren't bad at all if you looked at his numbers. So going into this year, we get Deshaun Jackson, all that stuff. I'm thinking like, all right, we're ready to roll. Let's do it. Deshaun Jackson can stretch the field like nobody else. It'll give room to everybody else. Like, we'll be amazing. And to start out the year, Carson Wentz again was playing well. Not great. He had a really bad game against the Falcons. But other than that, up until New England, he's been playing well. I mean, you can't sit there and say like 15 touchdown passes and 4 interceptions. You can't say that's playing bad, right? He was playing well. But again, just like last year, something is missing. Something's missing. And I've said all that to get to this point. Here we are against the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. Carson Wentz, you are playing like shit. Now, I'll say this one more time, because you do have to think about this. Who's he throwing to? He's throwing to J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Greg Ward, Jordan Matthews, and Matt Collins. Is that even an NFL wide receiver corps? Is that even on the caliber of being an NFL receiving corps? I don't know. So he's missing 3 wide receivers. 3 of his top wide receivers on the depth chart. 1, 2, and 3. He's missing his top 2 offensive linemen, the 2 best offensive linemen we have in Lane Johnson and Brandon Brooks on that right side. And he's missing his number 1 running back in Jordan Howard. That is 6 starting players. There's only 11 starters on offense. So we're missing over half of our offense. Let that sink in. We were missing over half of our starting offense. So yeah, the offense ain't going to run so smoothly, right? That's just use some common sense. So I will give that to you, Carson. I will give that to you. But I don't care who you're throwing to. You could be throwing to my grandmother. That's not what's making you throw balls into the fucking ground. That's not what's making you airmail a pass over fucking Miles Sanders' head, which could have been a touchdown. That's not making you look over here. You even looked at Miles Sanders at the beginning for a dump off, which would have been a first down. But you look away from him to look down here, and you end up getting sacked when a first down was staring you right in the face. Easy pass. I could have made that pass. That's not what's making you throw balls into the ground on screens. You can't even throw a fucking screen pass. That's always been your issue. You're shit when it comes to touch passes. You're bad at it. They're not making you have shitty pocket awareness. There's a guy down at your feet. Move! But no, you're just going to stand there and just end up getting sacked. I feel so damn sorry for this defense. Do you realize what this defense has done the last 2 weeks? They've made Tom Brady and Russell Wilson look pedestrian. Tom fucking Brady, Russell fucking Wilson, both looked relatively pedestrian against the Seagulls defense. If we even had an average offense, just an average offense, we win both games. I feel like we're dealing with some kind of curse, because how in the hell, at the beginning of the year, the offense was okay, and the defense was trash. Now the defense went from trash to pretty good, and the offense went from okay to trash. Why can't both units play well at the same time? Huh? Can we try that? Is that good? No? It's like just when the defense starts getting it together, the offense, it's ridiculous. I'm not off the Wentz wagon quite yet, but let me tell you what happened. I have given the reins over to someone else, and I have not hopped off the Wentz wagon yet, but I have gotten down and sat down on my ass, my legs dragging in the sand, ready to nudge off. That's where I'm at right now. I can't keep defending you. I can't. Can't do it. You have zero accuracy. Your accuracy is shit. You have zero touch. You have zero pocket awareness. And you don't go through your progressions well. Basically, everything that a quarterback should do, you suck at. I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's... I don't know what it is. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. He has changed. And I'm scared because what I want to keep going back to is that we have seen it. In 2017, you can sit there and say it was a fluke or this or that. Bullshit. We've seen it. We've seen the ability. We've seen the accuracy. We've seen the pocket awareness. We've seen the amazing... We've seen it. But here's the scary part. 2010, Michael Vick was pretty damn amazing, right? We've seen flashes before. Don't be a flash in the pan. I'm out.